we just figured to get a show out, it would be easier for us to just me and Tricky to meet and just pump one out real quick. And yeah, that sounded great, real great.
You are listening to Trophy Horse with your hosts, Tricky Mick, Alex, I Yield to No One, Sid, and Ender Phoenix.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Trophy Wars. This is episode 696. I'm your host, Tricky Mick, alongside with me, the man, the myth, and the legend. It's Alex.
The things we do for podcasting.
Yeah, we're starting a little late.
Well, we're starting a day late.
That too, but I put out there that we were going to start at 5:30, and it's almost 6:30, so yeah, it's technical issues. I mean, that's really what it boils down to being.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm stretched thin, I gotta tell you. Like rushing around now that Thanksgiving's over. Hopefully everybody who celebrated have a happy Thanksgiving. Or, just this time of the year that you get to spend time with family and loved ones, friends, whomever. Now that Thanksgiving's over, get to focus on Christmas completely and gotta find time to put up the tree and all the ornaments. Gotta figure out what to buy everybody. Gotta go shop for everything. So today was a day of me running to work, then running to do errands, and then trying to come here to podcast on a night we don't normally podcast. Yeah. So today stretched a little bit thin, but I could be after we're done go down and download a game I've been looking forward to for quite some time, and hopefully play the shit out of it a little bit tonight. Well, the shit out of it just tonight, just the shit out of it in general. But we'll get into that when we talk about what we've been playing.
I was gonna say, what game is that?
You can probably imagine if you know what release dates, because this is like a very unusual release date. Usually, I feel like games don't always come out on like a Monday. Maybe they're more scattered than they used to. Because usually you had like a release day. It's like either a Tuesday when stuff would come out, like music or movies or something, or it's like a Friday. But I mean, yeah, we'll get into that when it comes to what you've been playing. But yeah,
all right.
Couldn't even pre-order it. I was gonna pre-buy it and hopefully have it downloaded on my system. Couldn't even do that. Price didn't even pop up until today. So
really, all right. Well, it's a little weird because it's just me and you today. Matt, obviously, is going to take a couple weeks off because he's in the process of moving and
moving heaven and earth.
Yeah, and
actually.
Yield just taking a week off.
We were trying to get together yesterday, but it didn't work out. And I figured, hey, I talked to Tricky and it's like, hey, do you have time just to record a quick show tomorrow? And like just me and Tricky, obviously, we're sitting down late because I got home after running some errands, had to take care of the pets, and then I had technical issues. Like trying to mix Yield into that would have just been disastrous. We probably wouldn't have recorded. So not because of Yield, but just adding a third person in when you're trying to, like, I don't know what time Yield gets home from work. So we just figured to get a show out, it would be easier for us to just me and Tricky to meet and just, pump one out real quick. And yeah, that sounded great. Real great. So
I was going to say,
Tricky.
I was going to say, I don't know if I would use those words, but...
Well, you don't have a script for these things. Sometimes you just say whatever comes to your mind first, But,
what?
yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. Trophy Wars isn't scripted?
Well, we got an agenda, but we got a skeleton to go on.
I've been accused many times of being scripted.
Really? Do they...
Yep.
Do they not know how, like, a lot of times I will talk in circles? Do they think someone scripts that to me to talk in circles? Like,
well, the complaints I got was that we're scripted, that you talk in circles to kill time until one of us can get back, that our arguments and fights
whoever
are staged.
Said that, Playa, that's just me. I'm trying to form, my thoughts here on the fly. I don't even have like notes written down for most games I play, so that's why I talk in circles. I'm completely going on the fly.
Yeah, and I love the people that say our arguments and fights are staged.
Oh, they are absolutely not. Anyone who
No,
thinks
that
that, I mean, you can have that opinion, but they're not staged. Like, I don't come on here like there is some entertainment value to people like to like friction and to people having arguments. I mean, that's why like the real world, got popular. That's why Jersey Shore got popular. But I don't come on here looking to pick a fight with Tricky or anyone else. It just kind of happens because obviously we are two people with differing opinions on a lot of things, and sometimes we have a go at each other just because of the other one sees each other's opinion as just hogwash. So
yeah, a lot of your opinions are hogwash, but we let that go.
that's another hill you can die on, sir. Oh wait, hey, careful now. We don't want people to think this is scripted.
Yeah, it's true. Let's do our updated trophy counts. I am level 974. Total trophies of 35,156 with 1,004 platinums. Alex?
Man, you've really kicked it up a notch here since you got. Well, I won't spoil the platinum I saw that you got, but you've obviously been working on some spam as well. I
I'm finally able to spam some of the games that I've been like only getting half the trophies in. So
Tricky, I am having a little difficulty pulling it up. I'm in my email. Oh, that's the spreadsheet for. Where the hell is the. Oh, document. Okay, there you go. I thought I had opened it, but not. Okay. Level 528, total trophy count of 10,988, and platinum count of 202 in 201 games.
yield.
Well, I do want
Okay.
to note before we go to yield that I actually have hit my goal here of one, getting over 200 platinums during this calendar year. But also, I am now 91% trophy completion percentage on PSN profiles. So both of
Yeah,
those
no
were
one
two of
cares
my
about
goals
that.
for this year. What?
No one cares about that.
Yeah, you can't even just congratulate me on anything.
You don't congratulate me on shit. So
Oh, don't give me that. But
did you congratulate me on my latest platinum?
I didn't want. We're here on the show. This is the first time we talked since I saw that. What did you get it yesterday or the day before?
Like 4 days ago.
Uh, I only just recently saw it. I haven't been playing a ton. I've been waiting for specifically two games to come out, or one to come to PlayStation Plus and the other one to come out. So I haven't played a lot in the last like week. So ever since I got the Platinum and Carrion, I haven't really played anything new.
I
Um,
think I think I got it on Thanksgiving.
well, okay. I will congratulate you when you announce it. I just don't want to steal your thunder. But no, I thought it was really like going with the trophy talk. I thought it was really cool for me personally because it's weird because in like I have gotten since the end of September, I've gotten 7 platinums, which in about 2 months I've gotten 7 platinums. But before that, I had like a 3 month drought where I didn't get any platinums because I got at the end of June I got Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and it wasn't until September, the end of September, that I got Viewfinder, the platinum trophy. So 3 months nearly without a platinum trophy, and then in the last 2 months I've popped 7. So that's just kind of it's about half my trophies in platinum trophies in 1 year. Just thought that was kind of crazy, but I tend to pop them off in spurts here recently because I think I got my 150 platinum trophy within like the last 2.5 years, and you consider how long trophies have been out, and I have now
Uh,
over 200, so like a fourth of them have come in the last 2 to 3 years. Kind of crazy, but
with,
yeah, I just
without cheating, do you know what your 150th platinum was?
I saw it on PSN profiles, and now I can't remember it.
Star Wall.
Star Wall, so that actually was in 2023, and
Yes, 2 years ago.
I will remind everybody that's a hard as fuck platinum to get because it's like I think it's under 1%. So it's a
Do you
real
know
good
what
one.
your 125th was?
My 125th, no.
KO the Kangaroo.
When was that 2022?
That was 3 years ago.
So my 125th platinum. So I've gotten 75, 76 in like the last 3 years. That's crazy.
That's right. Your 100th platinum was 7 years ago.
They're
So in
yeah.
4 years, you only got 25 plats.
Well, there you go. And so the fact that like how yield pumps through games, the fact that I'm not saying I'm like super close to him because I think he's got almost 20 on me, but the fact that I got that few amount in like 4 years, the fact that I'm even in, like distance to him, it's kind of impressive, at least to me. But
You got your 50th plat 11 years ago. Probably just right after you got on the show. Your
Yeah.
40th plat was 12 years ago. Your 30th was 13 years ago. Your 20th was 15 years ago. Probably, oh, no, you would have liked that one. Your 10th was 15 years ago. And your very first platinum was 17 years ago.
Dang.
Do you remember? Do you remember what your first platinum ever was?
Legends of WrestleMania?
Yep. There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah, I like that was back. I got it real close on a few because like what Fat Princess was one of the early ones. Warhawk also, and I didn't get the 100% or the platinum trophies in those because I don't think many people got those because they were just really hard, like the Wild West of trophies. And I remember playing the Wolverine game, the really good Wolverine game, but I got most of the trophies, but not all of them. But yeah, Legends of WrestleMania was the first one that I got the platinum trophy.
I don't even remember what was my first platinum. I think Uncharted was my first one.
It would make sense. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people like I had like done all the in-game achievements in that game to unlock everything before the trophies came out, and I just never felt like going back to do them.
Can't tell you what my first one was because that was Devious Dungeon that glitched on times. So it says first platinum, no timestamp.
All right.
So.
Yeah, PSN Profiles is all like you go back and go back down memory lane. Like it's kind of incredible. Like I said, how much I've kind of pumped into the last few years as far as trophies. Like almost half my trophies have come in the past 3 years. It's bonkers. Like a third to 50%, and it's just kind of wacky.
I'm scrolling my list right now, but it's gonna take me a while because I have 1,004 platinums.
You do, and I only have 202. So.
Yep, it means you're 802 behind me, sir.
Never gonna catch up. You could stop getting trophies, and I probably would never catch you.
I remember I think it was 102 platinums in a day.
Yeah, I will never do that. I have obviously that's more than half of what I've gotten in 17 years. So yeah, but I do hopefully plan to have 2 more platinums before the year is over.
I'm still scrolling here.
I got 30 days.
No, my first platinum was Burnout Paradise.
That is a good one. And you started off so well, and then you've kind of just
Well, my first one was
off the-
Burnout Paradise, and then my next two were Up in Hannah Montana.
you caught the fever very early on.
Then it was Assassin's Creed 2, and then it was God of War.
Hmm.
Uncharted was my 7th platinum.
Hell yeah.
All right. Yield. Back to Yield. It's level 538. Total trophies of 11,574 with 222 platinums. I think he got another one. I think I added a number to that. Matt is level 222. Total trophies of 1,353 with 0 plats. And Sid is level 901 with 27,966 trophies and 867 platinums. All right. We do have a rarity update. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to pull it up because normally this is Yield's job and I gotta find it now. Nitro dumped up 2 places. Thanks to posting the highest score of the week with 167 points. He is back as Pee-wee's nearest challenger at 1,692 points in second. Pee-wee posted 92 points to take her past the 2,000 point milestone in the top spot. Sorry. Doc Chicken and Diego fellow placed each to third and fourth. Doc Chicken is just 3 points behind Nitro at 1,689 thanks to 89 points, while Diego moves to 1,609 with his 59 points this week. Yield stays in 6th spot after he scored 41 points and moves to 1,337. Rick, meanwhile, closes the gap between them to 50 points at 1,323 with his 83 points. Tricky had one of his better weeks, scoring 29 points, moving him to 356, but still in 16th spot. He did close the gap on Waterfield's 1, who just had 4 points and moves to 415. The battle continues for the final regulation spot, or as we like to call here, Alex.
Kenny Long gets his danger zone.
We can just call it the danger zone. And it looks like it would be either Mr. TMT 84 or California Wayne facing the motion to Division 2. There are just 20 points between them. California Wayne currently occupies the final spot at 638 with 40 points this week. Mr. TMNT is at 658 with his 38 points. In Division 2, Ifrit Hellfire has negative points for the second week running, -2, taking him to 1,057, but still leading the way. Rolling the floor, blah, 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 blah. Closed the gap as he top scored in Division 2 with 55 points, taking him to 988. Nightmare 317 continued his resurgence by scoring 33 points and solidifying his place in the automatic promotion spot at 512. The Chasing Pack are still all within striking distance. The Grounded Gamers in 4th, Murray 2011. In 5th, Raise Havoc is in 6th, and Dupes in 7th, with their 52 points among each of them at 495, 443. Alex scored 10 points, taking him to 446. The Big Don and Resendell both scored well with 31 and 22 points, keeping them in 8th and 9th. It's tight at the bottom. That one Seagull scored more points, but stays 18th. He had 29 points, moving him to 93. Departed had 4 points, keeping his nose ahead of JT on 98. And a single point further on is Stinkpalm, who earned a solitary legacy point, taking him to 99. Rarest trophies of the week in reverse order is 5th, Red Beard Rick with Art Collector and Curious Expedition at 4.6. Rolling on the floor, that got that. Then what in Resogun? No percentage for that one. Psychiatrist with Serious Business in Brawlout at 3.92. Resogun was 3.96. And Yield was Aerodynamics in Neo Sprint at 2.38. And first was Edge with Scientific Breakthrough at 1.4 in COD 7. Now, I do have an apology. Last week, I was not obviously on the show, and Sid did send me the audio for the Platinums of the Week. I did not realize it until after the show was already edited and out. So, there's no updated Plats of the Week because Sid's going to do double next week. But from last week, here's Sid's audio.
Hey guys and girls in Trophy World, it's Sid with the next Platinum shout-out. There aren't many this week, so it won't take too long. First up, guys, we have the Grounded Gamer with Skate and Skate, one on the PS5 and one on the PS4. Then we have the Brain 76 with Ghost of Yotai on the PS5. X Nightmare 317 with The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, and that again is on the PS5. Misa Goats a Lot with Toy Story 2 on the PS5. Dodge Williams with Crime Scene Cleaner on the PS5. And Gaz Davis 11 with Cat Quest 2 on the PS4. So, out of those guys, I'm going to say Ghost of Yotai and Last of Us 2 Remastered tied for Platinums, I think. I love Last of Us 2. I've never Platinumed it. And Ghost of Yotai, I started playing it on a different account. Very stupid thing to do, so I'm going to have to start that one again on my normal account. But, yeah, both of them really good games. To be honest, I think Ghost of Yotai just a little bit better, but that's my opinion. So that is it for this week, guys. A very short one. So I hope everyone is okay, and I will talk to you again next week. So keep getting those trophies, guys, and bye.
Yeah, I also want to point out, Ghost of Yotai was snubbed in the Game of the Year category. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, it got nominated for a lot, but yeah, Game of the Year did not. And it obviously, like I said, made the cut for a lot of different things. So the fact that they left it out of Game of the Year is a little, Sony usually gets at least one in there, but it's disappointing. Ghost didn't get in there. Didn't make the final cut.
Yeah, I don't know. I did put my picks in for the awards that you guys did last week. So it is on the spreadsheet. I'm not gonna go over them because that'd be boring. So, but my picks are in, and we're gonna have to see where it all shakes out when the awards happen on the 11th. But quick note about the awards. You don't watch them anymore, right, Alex?
I don't think I've ever watched them.
Really?
I don't know where to watch them, especially since I don't have cable.
Well, it's not on cable. It's always online.
Can
And
you
you can
just
only
like,
just
did
watch
they
it.
stream it on YouTube?
YouTube, Twitch, everything.
Okay.
Anywhere you could stream it, anywhere you could stream something, they're streaming it.
Well, here's the thing. Now that I don't have that excuse, I just don't want to watch them. I mean, obviously there's a YouTube app on our TVs. There's a YouTube app on the PlayStation. I'm fine just reading the winners. Be like, oh, okay, this game won this. I don't need to sit there and and then go through afterwards and watch the trailers I want to watch. I don't need to sit there for 2 hours and have Jeff Keighley yapping at me. I don't have anything against Jeff Keighley. I know some people don't like him.
I can't stand that man.
To me, he's just inoffensive. He's harmless. But that's just me. But yeah, I don't want to sit there and spend that time watching it.
I only really watch them now for the new world premieres. That everything is a world premiere, even though we've seen it like 4 times already.
Yeah, but that's the thing is you can just seek that stuff out later.
Yeah, but I mean, I sit down and I watch them. But yeah, I don't know. All right, let's get into what we're playing. We'll start with you, Alex. What have you been playing, sir?
Had to throw it to me first. So like I said,
That's because I have to go pee.
well, you're lucky that Matt and I can talk forever on here, so at least I get that going for us. Hurry back. So I put a cap on Carrion, beat the game, got the platinum trophy. I'm sure that's just recap for all of you out there in listener land. But I mean, this week, like I said, I've been waiting on for a specific game to release. Today, it is Monday, December 1st. So if you've listened to the show in the last few months, you probably know that it is Marvel Cosmic Invasion release day. The side-scrolling beat-em-up from Dotemu and Tribute Games. Dotemu, of course, I believe the publisher of many games, but specifically Streets of Rage 4 and Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and Tribute Games, of course, the developers of Shredder's Revenge. So lots of good going on here with the kind of kings of modern side-scrolling beat-em-ups taking their aim at this with 15 playable characters. And just like, I'm not going to get on here and say the bosses, but I've seen a few of the bosses, and one of them is a deep cut to me from like the old Avengers side-scrolling arcade game, which is nice to see. So I got some joy out of that. But yeah, I couldn't pre-download it, so once we get done on here, I'm going to go downstairs, buy it. It's only $30. I feel like it's a pretty fair price for that. And yeah, 15 characters to play with, so you got some replayability in that. And they've got kind of like a tag team system going on, so I think you pick 2 characters to play with, and you can switch in between them, and you can have up to 4 people playing at once. So like really, you have like 8 characters that be selected, and you can switch between them. So you got I can't remember who it was, but I was listening to something where it's like maybe it was Gaming Bolt or something like that, but they were talking about kind of like a little mini army from Marvel you have to fight the baddies. So I'm really excited to play that. And yeah, if anybody's out there wants to play, I'm sure we can make that happen. Also been waiting for Cosmic Invasion to come out. I've been playing just a few rounds of Helldivers, trying to get more super credits. I've got enough super credits for the next Warbond, Python Commandos, which has been announced. Seen some stuff from there. There's a minigun. There's also something called the Constrictor, which is like almost like a chainsaw, a saw blade type weapon, which is really cool. There's the fire dog, which we will see Matt probably using all the time now. So they got some cool stuff in there, some cool weapons. And yeah, that comes out December 2nd. So lots of content coming out this week. Rounding out the Rocket League Rocket Pass for this current season. I believe a new one will come out this week or next. I thought it was December 6th, but that doesn't really usually match up with the timeline. And yeah, finishing touches on that. waiting to see what they're going to do next season. And then they've announced, and we may go further into this in this episode, but the PlayStation Plus catalog, the essential free games for the month of December includes Lego Horizon Adventures. So Tricky played that game. Been a while since I played a Lego game, but the me and my entertainment in those games is always kind of predicated on the license that they use. So like I really enjoyed the Pirates of the Caribbean one. I like the Batman ones, but not every one of them is for me. But this one, I say the license is really good. Really, I love Horizon, so it makes total sense. And Tricky played it. It's a relatively shorter game. It's a easy platinum trophy, so I'll get my Marvel Cosmic Invasion platinum, and finish out the year with a free crack at a platinum trophy for Lego Horizon Adventures. So, like I said, not a whole lot going on this past week, but lots going on this week. Lots of new content. Oh, and I also played a little bit of Gigabash. They came out recently with a Gamera DLC, a 2-character pack. I believe it's Giron and Gamera. So had some fun playing with, bought some of those characters, had some fun playing with that. And I also went ahead and bought one of the Godzilla 4-character packs with Destroya, Mechagodzilla, Godzilla, and Gigan. And just jumping back into Gigabash and just playing around with some of the Godzilla characters and just the giant kaijus that kind of inspire these types of games. So
The grind is real in Horizon.
What's that?
The grind is real in Horizon.
See, I saw that you can get the Platinum Trophy in 15 hours, which to me is like a not bad for a Lego game. Unless the game is like 5 hours and then you're grinding for 10 hours.
No, it's 10. It's I'd say about 10 hours for the to finish it, but you got to grind out for another 5, leveling everybody else up.
Well, it can't be a hard Platinum Trophy, so
I mean, it's not hard. It's just a lot of repetitives.
Well, I mean, considering that I've Platinum Trophy games that are over 50 hours, between 50 and 100 hours, 15 or 20 doesn't seem that bad. Just for some mindless Lego gameplay. Now, I may get a little burnt out and be like, all right, this is my Lego game for the next 10 years. But it's a free, like I said, free access to Lego Horizon Adventures. Why not?
Yep. Oh,
and you, sir, Tricky, what have you been playing?
Well, I got the Platinum in Ghost of Yote.
Congratulations. I'm sure you're very proud.
I am working my way through the game again to get the DLC trophy because just 2 days before I finished the story, they released the New Game Plus. So I'm going through it again to get that trophy because that is a ultra rare at 3.8%.
So wait, you have to go through the game again just for one trophy?
Well, there's 2 trophies. One is by an armor, a charm, or a vanity gear with the new ghost flowers. But that's fairly quick. I mean, you could do that within 20 minutes of starting the new game. But the other trophy is you have to complete the entire game in New Game Plus.
That's pretty much what they did for the first game. Like that's almost verbatim the trophies.
Exactly what they did.
Yeah. So, well, at least they're consistent.
Overall, not a bad trophy list. Couple of them, like most of them I got without even trying. Like I just playing the game, completing everything. You don't have to 100% to all the in-game stuff to get the platinum. But there are a couple of trophies that you need to look out for. One is called Sayonara, which is shoulder charge or typhoon to kick an enemy off of a cliff to their death. So you can normally get that in one of the areas, which I'm not gonna because I don't want to say spoilers. But you can get it. You just have to line them up and do it. But most of the other ones, I mean, you can get without even trying. I mean, you do have to get all the altars. You do have to get all of the I don't want to say it because it's a kind of a spoiler. Yeah, you have to go through a lot, but you don't have to complete everything, if that makes sense. And then the one trophy I got by accident, which is personalize the scene in photo mode, because I never go in photo modes unless there's a trophy. I actually went into photo mode and took a picture by accident and got that trophy. The other games, finally platted 2 of my spam games. I did a jumpin' burrito and the jumpin' chicken wings, because I was only those games each have 20 trophies, and I didn't want to get the platinums, obviously, because I was trying to, get my landmark platinums. So I did those, finished those up. Those are my 2 extra platinums. And I jumped in today to Days Gone Remastered. Not as good as I remember.
Shots fired, because you all have
I love that game.
Y'all have talked up that game no matter what happened, no matter the fact that it's sequel just not going to happen. At least not right now.
I love that game.
But you just said it wasn't as good as you remember.
Yeah, I don't... to be fair, it could be that my settings are off, because, I am... the gun aiming seems a little loose. I can, gotta go in and do that. There's another game that I want to platinum with, but I need somebody to go with me. It's a free-to-play game. Alex, you might be interested in doing it, but I don't know if you're going to want to grind out the other ones. And that's Rogue Company. I have to spend 25 hours in a party, so I have to play with somebody else for 25 hours. It's a free-to-play game, 4v4 third-person shooter. And you can get all the trophies playing against bots. So,
yeah, but that 25 hours though.
Yeah, well, you have to get 100 wins, so you'll definitely get 25 hours getting those 100 wins. So, yeah. What else have we been playing? Trying to think. Obviously, I played some Division. New season comes out tomorrow, so as you listen to this, the new season's out. I'm going to be doing that. We're getting companions, so I'm really excited about that. And I think that's all I've been playing. I feel like I played more, though. I guess not. All right. Yep, that's it. All right, let's get into our topics. And I did Alex a favor. I'm not going to read the whole articles. I went in and took snippets out of each article and posted it in here as notes because, Alex doesn't want me reading the whole articles because that's boring.
No, Tricky. Nobody wants you to read entire articles. Like, nobody. It's not. It's not good. We want to give credit. We want to cite where this information came from, but it does a disservice to read the entire article for the person who wrote it, and then the people on the other end, our listeners, are just like, God dang, is he really just reading this dry ass shit?
Well, I will tell you, all but one of our articles comes from the site that you guys claim I'm paid by. So, first article is coming from IGN, written by Wesley
it's just
Yinpool.
claims. It's unfounded claims, Tricky.
Written by Wesley Yinpool. Hollow Knight Silksong dev team Cherry confirms it's working on a DLC, but it doesn't know when it will come out. In an interview with Bloomberg, Team Cherry co-founders Ari Gibson and William Pennon said that while the developers do not plan on taking a, quote, excessive amount of time, end quote, building this new content for Silksong, we are, quote, still pursuing the same development of philosophy, which sometimes can expand our time frame, end quote. It took 7 years for Silksong to come out, but who knows when this mysterious DLC will be released. But Team Cherry did tease a feature, the Steel Assassin, a character shown in the prior trailer, but is yet to show up in Silksong itself. So Alex, more than because neither one of us has played Silksong. How long should you expect a developer to come out with DLC for a game? Is a year too long? Is 2 years okay? Are you okay with DLC coming out several years later? How long does DLC have to come out to keep you interested in a game? And I'm not talking like a live service game like Helldivers, which is coming out like every month.
Yeah, where it's like, consistent and you kind of understand. I mean, if I'm I mean, if it has trophies attached to it, then you're going to get me back pretty much no matter what, unless the trophies are just terrible, and I just don't want to deal with them. But for most things, like, you know, the DLCs for Dave the Diver, um, the Godzilla one and the the Dredge one both had trophies attached to them, but the most recent one, Ichiban's Holiday, didn't have any trophies, and I just went back and played that. So I just enjoyed, and that came out years after the original release of Dave the Diver. I can't remember exactly when Dave the Diver came out, but it came out. Ichiban's Holiday came out earlier this year, so it's been a couple years. Um, and then, like I said, I gave the example of Giga Bash. They've been putting about 2 DLC character packs out a year. So some of them came out, like the Ultraman original 4 character pack came out in 2023. So they've been putting out content at least now for 2-3 years. Um, and I had another example that I was gonna like Shredder's Revenge. They came out with the oh god, what is it? Was it the Shattered Dimension? I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what it's called. But the first DLC they came out with, I want to say Shattered Dimension, but I can't remember if that's right or not. It came out about a year later, and then they came out with the Mondo Gecko Mona Lisa character pack, and that brought me back. So, I mean, add a year, because I think Night Rain, not Night Rain, because that's a different kind of game. I think the Elden Ring DLC, the Erd Tree, that came out a year after. So generally, I would say, depending on the content, a year later, like for levels and new expanded areas, that a year is good. It makes the game feel fresh again. Where if you put it out like a month later, it might be, people are just beating the game, or, they've beaten the game recently. And so it's kind of like, okay, we're going to go back into the world, whereas like having a nice little break allows you to kind of get a little rest, and you come back completely refreshed to play in that world again. So I feel like a year is generally a good amount of time. Now, if you wait years later, without consistently putting content out like a year, or a year and a half, I feel like you start to lose people, and people kind of don't know that content's out. That there's not extra content out. So I feel like a year is kind of a good compromise between the player and the developer. It gives the developer time to work on everything, but it also allows people plenty of time to beat the game and then enjoy other stuff before jumping back into that world.
Yeah, I think a year's good. uh, how long was it after we got the Ragnarok DLC? Was it a year, or was it 2 years?
I don't think it was 2 years. Because I played that at the end of the year last year. And I'm trying to...
I'm looking up God of War right
was
now.
Was that last year or the year before? Because I know I played Power Rangers last year.
Ragnarok came out in 24, because that's when I got the platinum, and Valhalla, which is the DLC. Oh wait. Wait. Wait.
Are you sure it wasn't 23 that Ragnarok came out?
Hold on. It's just I got the platinum in 24. That doesn't make sense. Oh, wait. Okay. I got the platinum in 24.
It was 2022 when God
22 is when the game came out, and then almost a year later is when the DLC came out. I forgot that I went back and got the trophy for beating the 2 hardest bosses afterwards.
And I feel like it was around a year later, after that Streets of Rage 4 came out, that Mr. X's Nightmare came out. So the X-Men Danger Room, procedurally generated combat rooms, those I think that was a year later. So yeah, I mean, a year is just, it is a, because you want to give your team time to rest after development of a game, and then get back into it. But it's, if people like your game, they'll come back to it, and a year just feels right. 2 years might be stretching it. I feel like without, like I said, a DLC pack in between release and year 2, I feel like it's stretching a little bit far because after a certain point, people kind of lose sight of a game. It falls further and further down your trophy list, and unless you go back through your trophy list and you're looking for unfinished games, you may not notice the DLC's out. If you're not constantly tapped into news, you may not notice that there's DLC. So, you know, anywhere between 6 months to a year is a good interval for a first DLC and then any DLCs that might follow between that. So, at the
I
very,
never went.
6 months increments, but, around a year seems to be for a lot of games, with expansive content, a good time.
Apparently, I never went back and got the platinum on the 4 version. I need to go do that. Okay. Our next story, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 team admits that the RPG success has surprised them and was not supposed to be this big. This is coming from IGN and written by Vicky Blake. Talking to Radio Times Gaming following this year's Golden Joysticks Awards, creative director Guillaume Broke spoke candidly about the studio's work, admitting that the game's reception from fans and critics alike has been so unexpected, saying that, quote, nobody really understands what's happening, end quote. Another quote, I think people don't realize that now it's become big, but before the launch, it was not supposed to be this big. I think we all felt the same. It's going to be cool. It's not going to be big. It's going to be cool. That's what's happening today. Is like, as we say, nobody really understands what's happening. It's a weird feeling when you put your heart into the world and the world embraces it and gives you so much love back. We get so much love for the players. It's so touching and incredible that it's very hard to explain, end quote. Yeah, I mean, this was an overnight success that I don't think anybody expected.
I mean, from a new IP, it's kind of hard to know what to expect. I mean, you put out a Call of Duty every year, or you put out, a Mario Kart. You see what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold on the Wii, or the Switch, and then you know how many Switches are in the wild, so you can kind of get a percentage of people that own it. Then you can tell based on how many Switch 2s are in the wild, how much you can expect to, sell of, Mario Kart World. Also keeping in mind that they did sell bundles with Mario Kart packed in. But yeah, I mean, with sequels, you kind of have an idea, especially if you know all the amount of consoles, the amount of people that have a chance to buy it. With something brand new like this, well, I guess even with some sequels like Helldivers 2, first game was successful. The second game was wildly successful to where the point where Arrowhead did not expect it, didn't see it coming. Servers were slammed at the start. They had to up their server game. And yeah, so sometimes it happens to sequels, but particularly with a new IP, it's just you don't always really know. And like the article said, whoever they were speaking to, they talked about pouring their heart into it. If it's a game that and this isn't always assured, because I'm sure Double Fine poured their heart into Psychonauts and Brutal Legend, and we know how that went for them. They switched to doing smaller games before being bought by Microsoft and making Psychonauts 2, or starting Psychonauts 2 and then being bought by Microsoft. But generally, you would hope that if people are making games they believe in, and they're generally well-made games, polished and fun to play, there's going to be a reaction for it. Now, I'm certain that these developers that made this game looked at popular gaming trends. Obviously, I'm assuming they play games themselves, so they know what works in games and what doesn't, and you can kind of build your game around that. Popular mechanics, take from other games, and to just make a better experience for people to play. So there are things you can do to better prepare yourself for it. But yeah, I mean, it's great that this studio made a game they were really proud of, and it's been a massive success.
Yeah. I agree with everything Alex has just said. There's really nothing else I can add to it. All right.
Hey, are you
moving
agreeing
on.
with me? Is that staged? Is this the part where we agree with each other in the script?
This is the script part, but you're not supposed to say that out loud.
Oh, okay. Sorry, breaking down the fourth wall.
What are you, Deadpool now?
No, actually, whenever I say that, I think of Degeneration X. Like, no matter where I am, at work, wherever, I hear, like, break it down, or, like, the DX music in my head goes off.
All right, well, apparently there's no music going off at Ubisoft because Ubisoft no longer plans to release a second Assassin's Creed Shadows expansion. This is also coming from IGN, written by Tom Phillips.
What kind of fucking
As of
transition was that? I thought you were going to talk about like Just Dance or something.
no, as of now, at this moment for year 2, there's no expansion the size of Hawaii that is planned. Associate Game Director Simon LeMay Kamol said in an interview with Jor Raptor. LeMay Kamol conveyed his answer by noting some exceptional examples in the past where Ubisoft had changed its plans to make more add-on content it had originally envisioned, such as the recent Saudi-funded DLC that arrived 2 years post-launch for Assassin's Creed Mirage. But currently, it seems clear that no second expansion is on the cards, and there's no suggestion that Shadow's post-launch plans will extend into a year 3. It's extremely surprising decision by Ubisoft, which followed up. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. Followed up the launch of 2017's Assassin's Creed Origins with 2 expansions, The Hidden Ones and The Curse of the Pharaohs. 18's Odyssey with 2 expansions, Legacy of the First Blade and The Fate of Atlantis, and 2020's Valhalla with 3 expansions, Wrath of the Druids, Siege of Paris, and Dawn of Ragnarok, alongside numerous other small DLC drops. 23's smaller-scaled Mirage itself was originally planned as yet another Valhalla expansion before it was ultimately released as a standalone game. I didn't know that. We're still working on content post-launch and supporting it, but it's not a full-on DLC the way a season pass would have come in the past years. Confirming to at least that Ubisoft still had plans for small additions to Shadows within 26. Quote, we're trying to readjust to year 2 a little bit. There's learning from year 1 that we can apply to year 2. Any content we do in year 2 will probably be more sparse, not a drip feed, but chunky updates that shake things up a little bit more. I'm not announcing anything at this point, but our strategy for year 1 was to be quick and reactive, so it means smaller drops often. But for year 2, we don't need to put fires out or anything, so it's more what's good, chunky little pieces of meat, and we can drop and have people come back and enjoy it. Now, if you remember, Alex, there was 2 expansions planned back when they were selling a season pass for the game, but when they wound up delaying the game, they removed the season pass and were no longer committed to doing a second DLC. I know you are Assassin's Creed out, and that you are not really on the Assassin's Creed fan unless it's in a setting that appeals to you, like Origins did with Egypt.
Well, in all
But
fairness, I have played in the last 3 years 2 Assassin's Creed games, so I wouldn't say I'm completely out on the series, but I mean, I think it's also fair to say that without a setting, I'm just not. It's not like, oh, Assassin's Creed game comes out, I buy it. It's like, okay, well, what's the timeline? What's the setting? That's yeah. So I'd say that's accurate.
but are you okay with Ubisoft coming out and saying, "Hey, listen, we just can't do a second DLC, or we're not planning to do a second DLC, even though we originally promised it, but now it's not coming out because this is not. I mean, this is not just unique to Ubisoft. If you remember, Naughty Dog did it with Uncharted 4, where Lost Legacy was originally supposed to be DLC for that game, and then they wound up delaying it and releasing it as a standalone title.
Was Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, was that also supposed to be DLC that they spun into they spun into another game?
No, that was always planned as a standalone game.
So with Mirage, did they have more than one planned DLC or like a post-launch DLC, or was that always planned for just one post-launch piece of content?
Um, Mirage, actually, I don't think they got DLC. I think what they're referring to is there was a what they're calling a parkour update, which is just basically like fixing the controls and different parkour tricks. It's not a DLC like in more story content, as far as I know. I haven't gone back to Mirage to pop it up, but that's what I don't think it's more story DLC. I think it's just DLC in the fact of like they've made updates to different things you could do in the game.
Yeah, because I think Syndicate, which was a little further back, granted, had one DLC, the Jack the Ripper DLC. So it's interesting because we've gradually seen them when they went to like the more open world RPG stuff, which again, I think that a lot of the games are open world RPG. I don't know why specifically the one starting in Egypt Origins is considered a start of a new style of Assassin's Creed game, but they got a little DLC happy there. And I have to wonder if them, because well, you said they planned 2 DLCs for Shadows. I wonder if, Mirage was a smaller game, so they never planned anything like really large post launch. But they were going to get back to that with Shadows. But maybe the pre-orders for Shadows kind of turned them off on that. And they said, okay, look, we're not, pre-orders aren't what we, want them to be. So we're going to back off the content and try to just sell you another game. Said, get to the next game sooner, get away from DLC. Because, there may be a movement from people that is, hey, we don't want to, we play our game, we're done if we even finish the game, and we don't want to deal with DLC. We don't want more content beyond this. Like, there is a feeling for some people, I'm sure, that they're, being microtransaction to death, that, parts are being left out of the game in order to just make more money on DLC. Or DLC is just made, sometimes just to make money as a nice little cash grab. But the fact that they had 2 planned and even had the season pass and they removed that, it tells me that I thought at first that maybe since they got so hot and heavy with DLC during like Valhalla and Odyssey and Origins that they maybe just kind of didn't find it financially viable or as viable as they had hoped, so they were going to back off it a little bit. Still release DLC, but not be so hot and heavy with it. But the fact that they had planned 2 for Shadows, if it was going to be profitable, unless they just lost the staff and didn't have staff to make it, they
Well, you also got to remember, Assassin's Creed was one of the series that was taken over by the new, I don't know, it was a buyout or the, I don't know what you refer to it, but they're the new division that Ubisoft sold off or merged with. So
yeah, I don't remember the finer details of that story, but I do remember us talking about it on the show. But if you play in 2 DLCs and then you scrap one of them, does that not tell you that the pre-order sales were disappointing?
Not necessarily. I think it's more or less that it was so controversial that they're like, we don't want to release more stuff for this. We're just gonna move on.
So I do have to ask, when you were reading the description, did it say Hawaii in the
Hawaii?
Hawaii, the Hawaiian Islands? I thought I heard Hawaii for some reason.
I don't think it said Hawaii.
Okay, because timeline-wise, obviously you think of the history between Hawaii the U.S. and Japan and Hawaii and how that fits in. Not really, doesn't really fit well with, feudal Japan and samurais. But for some reason I heard Hawaii in there.
I didn't say Hawaii. I said Awahi, which is spelled Awaji.
Okay.
That's the DLC that they just released.
Okay. So, yeah, I was like, Hawaii, why would that fit in with feudal Japan and samurais? I know how it fits in with Japan, but if you want to talk controversy, then yeah, maybe there's been games about it, so, but yeah, I don't know. If they could make money off the other DLC, unless they just want to move on to another Assassin's Creed game as fast as possible and get away from Shadows, my first thought, it has to be pre-orders are disappointing and they just didn't see another DLC as worth their time and the monetary investment to get it out.
I think it's a combination of they want to get past the controversy, but I also think that if this does well enough and gets enough positive feedback, because right now they're also getting crucified with their crossover with I think it's Attack on Titan. Apparently, like, there are a lot of people that are like, this is just straight garbage. So they're getting killed with that right now.
It would not be the first time that somebody took the piss out of Ubisoft.
All right. Let's get on to a topic that's going to interest you. Helldivers 2 is finally getting a minigun and other fan-requested weapons as part of the jungle-themed Python Commandos Warbond. This is coming from IGN and written by Wesley Yinpool. Due out December 2nd, so tomorrow if you listen to this live, yesterday if you listen to this on podcast release date. The Python Commandos Premium Warbond adds new armor and weapons to Arrowhead's explosive third-person action game, as well as a new minigun, which Helldivers 2 has been crying out for since the launch. The Warbond includes a chainsword and also a flame dog. In a post on the PlayStation blog, Catherine Baskin, social media and community manager at Arrowhead, leaned into the long overdue arrival of the minigun with a fun, in-universe message to players. Quote, the Ministry of Defense received thousands of requests from squad commanders for a minigun, and we're excited to finally give our Helldivers access to the M1000 Maxi gun. Belt-fed with ultra-high ammo capacity, this one is sure to make those bugs bleed. The AX Flam 75 Guard Dog Hot Dog, meanwhile, is a drone equipped with a flamethrower to, quote, coat your foes in the fires of freedom before returning to your backpack to refuel, end quote. And then there's the CQC-9 defoliation tool, which very much looks like a chainsword that the Emperor of the Grim Dark 41st Millennium would approve of. The primary weapon is a combination assault rifle and grenade launcher called a AR-GL21 1-2. Quote, heavy to wield, but the damage is dealt is heavy too, making your primary slot more versatile than ever with two guns in one, end quote. Arrowhead explained. And then you can see the images on the PlayStation blog. Now, I'm not into Helldivers, so Alex, I'm going to give you the floor. How do these new weapons sound to you, sir?
I mean, they sound pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to want to use the minigun because I've got, my guns all kind of figured out. I mean, I'll try it, but I think you have to be stationary to shoot it. I don't think you can shoot and move. So, I mean, that in general, I don't know. It's time for there to be a minigun in the game, so I'm not saying they shouldn't have added it. But for me personally, Helldivers is a game that I like to stay mobile in. So, I've got good guns already. So, other than try it out and play with it in the big sandbox that is Helldivers 2, I'm good. The Constrictor, which is the chainsaw melee weapon, that looks like it could be a lot of fun to use on everybody. So I'm sure I'll get a little bit more use out of that. Although if I give it a permanent slot in my loadouts, oh, excuse me, remains to be seen. But generally I like to keep it a little bit further away. So that's probably another thing that I'll just have some fun with and then bottle it up, put it back in the toy chest for maybe a rainy day. So yeah, I mean, overall, the Fire Dog is going to be a nightmare to deal with, potentially. If
you know Matt's going to be wielding that.
Well, yeah, anything and everything fire. But overall, I mean, given the issues that we've had in Helldivers, and they've had to work on the game itself and get it back to where they felt they were comfortable enough to work on content instead of improving the game and fixing bugs. It's a good. I'd say it's, from what I've seen, it looks like a good Warbond, and it's nice to have some new content to spend my Warbond medals on, because I've been tapped out on Warbond medals, or capped out, for a good 2 months. So there hasn't really been a reason for me to play. But again, they had issues they had to fix. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm capped out too, mostly because I don't have all the Warbonds. So I gotta go and get super credits to get the Warbonds, or spend real money to unlock the Warbonds. So that's why I haven't turned it on in a while. I normally just logged on every 3 days. Just got the not the Warbonds. Why did I just have a blank?
To get the Warbond medals from the major
major
orders.
I just logged on every couple days, get the major orders, get those, and then capped out on the Warbonds I have. So I'm maxed out now. So I either need to go and play the game, get super credits so I can unlock the other ones, or whatever. I got to do something. Alrighty. At this point, we are going to throw it over to Facebook. I'm very upset that Matt didn't put this in last week's show.
Time to check my social media, yeah.
Matt doesn't put it in the show when I'm not here, right?
He says that very loudly and proudly. He makes sure everyone knows he's not going to put that social media thing in there. So.
In the post, going to the questions. First one, Yield. We're recording? That's news to me. Sorry, Yield. We didn't think, with the last minute decision to do this that you'd be available, so we didn't reach out to you.
Yeah.
That's on us.
Now, I mean, like, again, it's trying to get. We just tried to throw a show together to get something out, and we have less time to edit it, and trying to get 3 people together after work or before Tricky goes to work is just a pain, so we just thought this was easier. So.
All right. So I sent you 2 pictures in the Facebook chat because I know you're not on Facebook, because 2 questions come from Will. He says, who amongst us is going to rock the curb bussy slippers? And he says he knows Matt is a guy. So, Alex, if you look at the pictures, will you be rocking the Kirby slippers?
Nothing against Kirby, but I'm not really wearing anything Kirby gear. I mean, the last Kirby game I played was Kirby Epic Yarn. I think that's actually the only, well, besides the Kirby game for the Game Boy. I've only played 2 Kirby games, so, Kirby's not my homeboy. I mean, Kirby's fine, nothing against him, but I just, I'm not wearing those.
All right. And he also wants to know, are you going to be rocking the Xbox Crocs?
I will never wear Crocs. I
agree.
I prefer tennis shoes, and I just if I'm at home, house shoes like slippers or like really thick socks, like that's what I prefer to wear. I'm sorry, I can't. There's some things I just can't wear. Like I don't like baseball caps. I think I look stupid in a baseball cap, and just Crocs to me, I'll say it, they look like clown shoes. I can't get over the fact that they look like clown shoes. So
if I ever considered wearing a Croc in my life, it was killed when somebody said they had to put their Crocs in sport mode. I was like, I'm done. You just lost all interest in me.
I did have a friend once talk about wearing formal Crocs or dressy Crocs, and I'm like, what?
I think the only people that should wear Crocs are nurses because they're on their feet all day. That's it. And one last question come from Roberto. With Assassin's Creed Shadows arriving on the Switch 2, what ports would you like to see for the system? I'm going to start first because I'm going to get hate for this, but I don't think Switch 2 needs any ports. I think Nintendo needs to focus on their properties and put that out there, because the Switch 2, any game that you port over to the Switch 2 is going to be a graphically downgrade, and nobody wants to play that. If they're going to play those games, they're going to play it on either the Xbox or the PlayStation. Nobody wants to play a graphically downgraded game on the Switch 2. So Nintendo needs to stick to their IPs, which they can make look on their systems.
So wait, well, could you read the question again, just so I can...
Shadows is coming to the Switch 2. What other ports would you like to see for the system?
I honestly, for the people that, because I'm sure that there are people that just don't Switch 2. And I'm not saying that as like, of course there are some people who don't Switch 2 that don't under their console, but I'd say there's probably, a good amount of people out there that are like, hey, I buy the Nintendo console and I don't care about anything else. For their sake, I would hope good quality ports come. There are definitely third-party games that you can put on there. I don't necessarily know that like third-party or open-world sandbox games are necessarily the best thing. I mean, the Switch 2, Nintendo has found a way to make the Switch 2 look like, and even on the Switch, the graphics in some games they look really good. Whether it's a technical powerhouse, we know it's not, but they find a way to stylize games to make it look really, really good. And a lot of those graphics are kind of like timeless. Like you can go back and play a lot of those games and still enjoy them and be like, oh yeah, I mean this looks good. So, but there are just some games that, larger scale games that you probably just wouldn't want to play on the Switch. I mean, if you had no other choice, like sure. But as far as like games to be ported to the Switch, I don't know. I mean, honestly, the best case scenario would probably be indie games, like smaller indie games that just never came to the Switch, or I'm trying to think of a game that that's not on there that I would say, yeah, port that over. I mean, Dave the Diver would probably be pretty good, but Dave the Diver's already on there, I think. So, yeah, off the top of my head, I really can't think of anything. But I would say something by a smaller studio indie game because, you know, other more intensive games might not look the best on a Switch.
All right, and then I'm going to steal a question from the Twitch chat coming from our proven bot, only because I just recently saw a video of this and I disagreed with their answer. But who was your first celebrity crush and why?
I I don't know. It might have been I'm trying to think. Might have been Christina Ricci.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine was Kelly Kapowski.
I mean, I guess
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah. But see, that's the thing though, is
uh,
like when I'm trying to think like timeline wise, uh when uh when you would have watched or what age you would have watched Saved by the Bell, because I mean we still have been younger, but I don't know.
the video I saw said it was a tie between Winnie from the Wonder Years and Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, I think Winnie from the Wonder Years, especially if you depending on how old you were in the '80s, I think that was probably a lot of for people. Yeah, no, but
I never found Winnie attractive at all.
I mean that's fine. I Danica McKellar, I think is the actress's name. I never watched the Wonder Years really, so I that wasn't really. I was more of a growing up when I was younger, a Stephanie Tanner Full House. Uh,
Uh, the actress's name was Gwendolyn Cooper.
what?
Oh no, sorry, Danica McKellar.
Yeah,
Yes, sorry.
Gwen. No, I know her name is Danica McKellar, but yeah,
No. I just googled the Wonder Years Winnie, and that's what popped up. That's it threw me off. Yeah, her character's name was Gwendolyn Cooper. All right, moving on to our topic of the week.
toe, 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 toe. Topic of the week. Well, fine then. Fuck you, Matt.
And I see you lurking in the chat, Black Chaos. Normally
Finally,
quiet,
you
but
finally didn't add any time to that or take any off.
I haven't moved it in 2 months.
All right, well, you whatever you got to say to sleep better at night.
Did you get your stopwatch out and clock it yet?
No, but I got my stopwatch out to compare to the script we have, so we can pick a fight now.
Okay. Topic of the week. And I did this just to spite Matt because I know he's not here. The Commodore 64 is making a comeback and is on the production line for the first time in 30 years. The Commodore 64 Ultimate includes a, quote, faithful recreation of the original motherboard, end quote. The focus, though, is not on nostalgia, with the company emphasizing that the system will support 10,000 original games along with, quote, dusty old cartridges, CRTVs, data cassettes, and disk drives, end quote. The new Commodore 64 includes options that didn't exist in 1982, including an HDMI port and USB 3. There's also a new Ethernet port. The computer even includes Wi-Fi. Commodore promises a modern printer control, a faster system thanks to more memory and more sound processors. And Alex, you ready for the price?
Sure.
$750 for 256 gigs and $799 for 512 gigs.
What was the first price? I heard $7.99 for the top line, but
$749 for 256 gigs.
man, you know who's doing cartwheels and backflips? Jeff Hanna. He's gonna love the shit out of this thing.
You know what? And you say that, and I was gonna reach out to him and forgot to.
Me personally, like this was before my time. So great. Like and I don't mean that kind of flippantly. Having a older piece of tech or any older piece of media, like I'm not encouraging anyone to go out and buy the WrestleFest arcade. But it's nice to see games like that come back. because you don't see them every day, and they haven't been re-released in 20, 30 years. Well, at more than 20, definitely 30 years. But it's a nice story. It's a feel-good story to know that the Commodore is coming back. Now, what the market is for it, I don't know. Obviously, they've set it a premium price, so you're going to have to, spit out that money to get it. But the people who are alive and can remember the Commodore, they are, either our generation or a generation above us. And if you're going to do this kind of thing, you can't do it 30 years from now and expect, the kids who are currently in high school to want to fucking buy it. The people who are going to want to buy it are the people who grew up with it. So, with modern computers, modern tech, tablets, smartphones, smart TVs, apps in general, this is not going to catch on, I don't think, with newer age people, younger people. But if you still remember the Commodore growing up, or it was a part of your, you have some nostalgia for it, there's certainly a strong draw there.
All right. I did message Jeff. He did see the message, so I'm waiting to see if he replies back. But yeah, this is definitely for this nostalgia. Like, I think it's pretty cool that it's going to play all the original games. So if you have the old data cassettes from the original Commodore, it's still going to work. Still work. Will still connect to a CRT TV. I think it's pretty cool. The price range, though, is the part where I agree with you that this is for the older generation. I don't see any parent going out and buying this for their kid, especially since the graphics are not going to be updated. Nothing like that's going to be updated. This is just got some modern features so you could use it today on your TVs if you don't have a CRT. Just as, are you keeping up with the Commodore? Hold on.
I'll carry on. With when they released like the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, there was a Sega similar system that came out with games packed on there, and you even had the PlayStation one. You could believe that you would buy that because Ashley bought one for her kids and they enjoyed playing it. Like the Super Nintendo, you could sit down in front of a kid today or a teenager, and they might actually enjoy some of the games. Commodore's a little bit more involved, a little bit more archaic. SNES still has graphics that I think hold up today. And Nintendo just has shorter, less complicated games that are just fun to play. Some of them are hard as dick, but they still fun to play. A lot of them are still fun to play. So you can like see newer versions or like retro throwbacks to those consoles being successful with any kind of person who plays games or enjoys, gaming in general. Commodore's a little bit different, and I just think it's an archaic machine that I'm glad is having a chance to come back because I would love to know what the sales are for this thing. Hopefully they will release that. I also think, though, that you have a very specific audience who has disposable income, but is also ranging from, people in their 40s to people in retirement age. And, like, if you're going to release this again, you got to kind of release it now.
All right. Jeff responded with a YouTube video of "Are you keeping up with the Commodore?" which threw me off for a second. Apparently, there's a portable version of the Commodore 64 called the Commodore SX64. So,
we're going to find out
this
that
is
Jeff is the man behind the curtain, and he's the one who orchestrated all this.
The CEO, who just recently bought the rights, he did release a video. I saw this on TikTok before I saw the article. I thought it was fake when I saw the TikTok video, but apparently it's real. But they showed the assembly line. They are faithfully recreating this thing. It looks the same. They just made some modern upgrades, like I said, with the HDMI port, the Ethernet, the Wi-Fi. Do you think there's any chance that they release new games for this? Especially like these indie titles that, they don't require much graphically. Do you think that some indie titles will release on the re-released Commodore 64?
I mean, is it only going to play cartridges? I mean, like, I'm assuming it's got an HDMI port, but like, I don't know if you can download stuff to this thing or if it's just like, hey, play on the cartridges. I mean, someone probably can do it. I mean, we've seen updates and like mods to so many games that I'm not gonna, say that it's out of the realm of possibility. Whether they come out with new cartridges is another thing, but yeah, the ways to play this game, I'm just not entirely sure. I can see it happening, but if you're gonna buy the rights to the Commodore, why buy those rights if you're not gonna do anything with them? I mean, honestly, this is probably someone who maybe grew up with the Commodore, or was very aware of it. It's like, man, I can buy the rights to this. And, why the hell not? Dude, screw it. You only live once, so let's go ahead and remanufacture this motherfucker and see what we can do.
I think I lost you, Alex.
No, you didn't. I just stopped talking.
Well, no, you've been going in and out. Your audio's been going in and out for like the last 20 minutes.
Oh well, hopefully it's all good on my end. It looks good on my end, but
yeah.
If you're gonna buy the rights, you're gonna do something with them. No one just buys the rights to stash shit. Or if you do, why the fuck did you buy the rights? So yeah.
Apparently, you can get it for the 512 gig at Best Buy for $700. I don't know why it's $100 more expensive at Amazon.
Look, here's the thing: no one shops at Best Buy anymore. Like, I go into Best Buy, and I complain about the amount of you look at other stores that are far busier. Like, say you go into a Target or whatever, and you can't find a god dang person to help you. But you go into a Best Buy, no one's fucking in there. No one's shopping in there, and there's like 1,000 employees. It's like, what is the labor budget for fucking Best Buy? And what are their projections for their financial performance? Because that's usually what labor is based on. And it's like, holy shit. Like, why? Sorry, I've been into a Best Buy recently looking for something specific, and I haven't walked out of Best Buy with anything purchased, or any product in like over a decade. So yeah.
All right, so Jeff finally did respond. He goes, I sent him the article that we're reading from. He says, oh, I know. If I didn't already own a C128 DCR, I'd probably get one. I don't know how they're doing it at that price point. The recreation motherboard and the painstakingly accurate keyboard and the case have all been available for some time from 3 separate people. Parted out, that price is closer to $600 plus. Either new Commodore is subsidizing heavily, or those 3 groups have cut their profit margins in thin hopes of volume sales. Do I think the new Commodore will innovate new computers, consoles, and devices? No, not at all. Do I appreciate them leaning into nostalgia and retro? Hell yes. And it says on Ichiro.io, a surprising number of new Commodore 64 games get released every year. There you go.
I feel like I had a thought, and then
I'm looking on it right
lost
now. I'm looking on itch.io right now, and there are some games on here. 50 cents, $2, $1.50. There's a web game. I don't know that they're gonna be able to download it to your console, but I mean, you are gonna have 512 or 256 gigs, so there is room on the console.
Well, clearly this is a passion project for whoever bought the rights. I mean, this is something that they clearly want to bring back. See, we talk about like game preservation, and this is something they obviously believe in, and they want to give it another chance. They want to give it new life, and not again something that most kids are going to be asking for Christmas. Not really a mass market item, not really mainstream, but it's a cool story. And I'm sure, they might sell, I'm sure they'll sell some. Somebody out there, Jeff, I feel like Jeff has told us before that he's worked on a Commodore, or he worked on restoring one or something. He's always up to some kind of scheme, like Pinky in the Brain. But I don't think anyone goes into this being like, I'm going to make a ton of money off this. I think it's clearly just this person really loved this product, and they just want to give it new life. It's like if I had enough money to buy the rights to Legends of the Hidden Temple, and I could like kickstart that series again and bring back Kirkfog and Olmec, and we could run it back. Same kind of thing.
All right. So, Alex, I'm going to cut this show short now, mostly because your audio is starting to go in and out, so it's going to be a pain in the ass, but also because we have a short edit time for you. And I know you go in depth with your edits, so I want to give you as much time as possible to get it done. So we're going to close out the show. Let's go into our shout outs. You can start us off, sir.
Give a shout out to our awesome community, the fuel to the fire, this trophy horrors. Thank you all for supporting us. Thank you all for listening. Whatever you do, wherever you listen, we please note that we just love your involvement with the show. Give a shout out to my co-host Tricky, as well as Matt and Yield, who obviously were not here tonight. Again, quick show. We tried to involve as few people as possible just to make it easier and get this out in good time. So give a shout out to Jeff, who is answering messages here on the fly from Tricky. Give a shout out to Will for his artwork. Need to send him a headline as soon as possible so he can get started on that. And last but not least, give a shout out to my awesome and loving girlfriend Ashley. I love you, hon. And yeah, that is going to be it for me. Tricky, who are you shouting out to?
I just want to give a shout out to everybody. Shout out to Gosu Yote, who got snubbed for the Game of the Year award.
I feel like
really
it won
upset
something
about
at the
that.
Golden Joysticks. Or maybe
It did win. I was gonna put that in the agenda, but I wound up taking it out with the because we were not recording on Sunday. I feel like we could do that next week. I want to see. I just want to look real quick to see who won Game of the Year with them. Ultimate Game of the Year was Clair Expedition 33. And they're I want to see who else who else was nominated with them. Ultimate Game of the Year. Oh, they had a bunch of nominees. They had Blueprints, Claire, Death Stranding, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, Silksong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Peak, Silent Hill F, and Split Fiction. They were all nominated for Game of the Year with the Golden 26. We'll go into those awards probably next week when we can, properly plan for it. But I knew we were going to have a short time to record tonight and a short edit for Alex, so I didn't want to make the show too long going into the Golden Joysticks and then, a week or two later going into the Game Awards. So I tried to keep it short, but we'll go into that more. Yeah, shout out to everybody that listens to the show, and until next week, happy trophy hunting.
later.
The theme song is Venus by the band Even off their album Zenith. Permission granted by the band and 12 Stone Records. You can find them on Facebook by going to www.facebook.com/evenphilippines.